Give it a minute. It's not connecting like I want it to. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, fashion dolls. Out for my morning walk this morning. It was not letting me be great, not letting me connect. Today, if you're in South Carolina, know that the runoff is today. Make sure that y'all are registered to vote. Check your voter registration. This is why he's so adamant about getting his new election rules in there, because what it would do, didn't I say back in 2024 that they have purged voters off of the rolls? Didn't I say that? Make sure y'all go and check your voter registration. Go to vote.org, check your voter registration. If you're registered to vote down here in South Carolina, get up. Today is the primary runoff. Today is the 23rd. So I've already did my voting May 29th, which was early voting. Make sure you do your part and get out of vote today as well, too. Lindsey Graham got to go. And he's up against Dr. Annie Andrews. And I pray she wins. Here's a little bit of her backstory. She is a licensed pediatrician, meaning that she's worked with children, meaning that she understands how doctors help people. Where this regime wants to jail doctors for giving women life-saving care. I told y'all the story about Amari Marsh, a young woman who was 22 years old down here in South Carolina. Orangeburg, South Carolina is like 5 minutes away from me. So she would have been facing up to 22 years. Thank the Lord that the judge and the jury of that case threw it out. They want to jail women for miscarrying. You can't make this shit up. Lindsey Graham is right behind Donald Trump, and he is a Trump loyalist. He has pledged absolute total blind loyalty to Donald Trump. That is his friend. So, speaking of Republicans, Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene are saying that they want to leave the Republican Party. No, not y'all want to leave the ship that y'all helped this man on. No, absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. And to the Democrats out there that are saying we can welcome them, no, they're not interested in policies that we are interested in. They're not interested in helping anybody other than their goddamn selves. So no, we don't welcome Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson when they helped Donald Trump get elected. Now, one of our colleagues, shout out to Deshaun. Deshaun sent me a video yesterday. One of our colleagues that's close within our circle that shall remain nameless, I don't fuck with him. And there's a reason why. Do y'all see how dangerous disinformation and misinformation is? When you are able to listen to people like these racist white leftists, like a Hawks podcast. Yes, he's for black people. But Tabitha Speaks Politics, shout outs to her, a beautiful, well-educated black woman who y'all should be following, called him out on his racism in her most recent video. And y'all are pissed off because black people are not so giddy about getting James Tallarico elected. You can't get mad at us. The man has said nothing about the racism towards Jasmine Crockett. The man has not come down and condemned his supporters for nothing they said about Jasmine Crockett. And here's where I have an issue with one of our close friends within our circle that shall remain nameless. He went on his video and did a whole video and put a lie out there when this woman time and time again has came out and said she's not taking money from AIPAC. But what about James Tallarico taking money from a Zionist? Yes, the Zionist queen herself. Jasmine Crockett is not taking money from AIPAC, and that's why I choose not to fuck with this individual. See, when you put out disinformation and lies, I can't fuck with you. That's where we have to disagree. Because I said it once and I will say it again. Jasmine Crockett was out here doing the work. James Tallarico, who sat up here and called a black man mediocre, you think that Texas, I'm not even in Texas, but for somebody that racist, we know that is coded. Keith Edwards, this pertains to you because you did a whole video basically darkening Jasmine Crockett's features, trying to make her look masculine. That's what we talk about when we talk about misogynoir. Let me educate y'all on that. As y'all can see, I'm not the lightest girl in the room. I'm a chocolate sister. And most of you would think that being dark-skinned is connected to masculinity. That's how it's always been. It's been that way since slavery. But if you go back in slavery, what was the policy? What was the thing? Lighter skin in the house, darker skinned in the fields. They have always hypersexualized African American women. They've always been doing that to us. Let's call a spade a spade. Keith Edwards, we knew exactly what Keith Edwards was doing when he put that video out of Jasmine Crockett. So when I seen that video of the individual that's a close associate of ours sit up here and say, well, Jasmine Crockett was taking money from AIPAC. The whole caption and the title and everything is there. I said, that's not true. But you didn't call out, what about Tallarico? Because see, guess who he's running up against? Ken Paxton. Ken Paxton is going to win. Mark my words. And it's because white America in Texas, y'all couldn't vote for a black woman who didn't care about what party y'all chose to affiliate yourself with. She was out here boots on the ground for you, doing her job in District 30. And y'all couldn't vote for her. And I think it's time that we have a deep-rooted conversation about colorism and misogynoir, especially at the most recent White House event that took place, where a certain MMA fighter sat up here and said basically, hey, Michelle Obama's man. That's not true. But that's how misogynoir works. Misogynoir works that way when you can get a group of people who don't already like a marginalized group to believe what you're saying. And what will happen as a result of that? Violence. Violence. It causes violence. Let's have a conversation about YG's song. Yes, we're going there. Dream Johnson, who was a trans black woman, lost her life. YG created a song called Tiffany, and it's getting backlash. Didn't I say that hip hop has always been homophobic? Hip hop has not been welcoming and accepting to queer people. I can remember having a conversation with Bugs Gutta, and it was Herb Tone, who are two out A rappers. Who else did I have on the show? I had Rico Castadine as well too on the show just recently, not too long ago, way before the fire happened. And we were talking about what's the word? What was the word that I said? It wasn't individuality. Intersectionality. That's what it is. When you are able to merge all different walks of life together, from black and straight, black and gay, everyone is welcome. Because see, one thing you're not going to do is you're not going to exclude me when I'm black first. And that's the issue that we're having right now. That's the fight that we're having right now. And that is to either choose your blackness or to choose your queerness or your transness. And as a result of that, I'm not willing to choose either. I'm going to choose both. Whether you like it or not. You're not going to exclude and erase my existence when you have a whole regime out here is trying to eradicate not just us trans people, but also black people. And see, a lot of people didn't believe that Fat Meat is Greasy, that Project 2025 was real. But you're starting to feel the brunt of it. Now let's talk about the caption of today's live stream. The caption of today's live stream, I titled it this way for a reason, because today's live stream, Donald Trump has already rigged the 2026 midterms. And if you think that this man is going to go away peacefully, I said it once and I will say it again, you are sadly mistaken. The DOJ basically went and dismantled the election integrity department. This DOJ is corrupt. Who's over it right now? Kash Patel, and at the time it was Pam Bondi, but now the acting attorney general is Todd Blanche. And Todd Blanche openly sat up here and said, he's on the record saying it. They're openly telling you they're going to violate the code of law, the ethics code of law, and they're also going to violate the Constitution. We will shield Donald Trump from any sort of prosecution. So they're doing everything within their power to make sure that he's not held accountable. That's what they're quietly trying to do with people who suffer with mental illness and people who are disabled. They are quietly trying to bring back institutions. Sound familiar? Remember back in Nazi Germany, where Hitler basically did away and discarded with anybody who was disabled or suffered with mental illness. That should ring an alarm bell. And half of the people in my state, which is a predominantly red state, deeply drenched in the Confederacy, South Carolina, we know about the Stoner Rebellion if you don't do your research. But we also know about Dr. Cleveland Sellers. That's somebody who y'all need to do your homework on. This man fought also so that we could have equality as black people in South Carolina. Another would be Septima Clark. Septima Clark has also been pivotal in helping black people get their right to vote. It's important that we understand the lineage of the country. It's deeply rooted in patriarchy and white supremacy. And me personally, it's a lot of work we have to do. It's a lot of work we have to do. And that starts off with us making sure that we vote in our state, local, and federal elections. Good morning. So make sure that you're registered to vote. Today is the primary runoffs, so make sure that y'all are registered to vote in that. But yes, like I was saying though, that's what's up. Donald Trump just rigged the 2026 midterms. Why is he so interested? Remember back this year now, his whole, what was it, some FBI agents, some spies. Why are y'all getting access to information in Georgia? Fani Willis was being investigated, brought to the court to tell, like, what the hell is this? She did her job. But let's talk about why he's doing what he's doing. Why do you need access to voting data? Why do you need access to the voter rolls? And if they don't turn in their voting rolls, you don't get no mail-in ballots. We're going to withhold funding because that's his next plan. He's crashing the fuck out, and somebody needs to put his ass in a straitjacket somewhere because he's losing his goddamn mind. That's what's going on. This is what happens when you elect a clown. You get a circus. Do I believe that there will be a free and fair election? Absolutely not. It would be going to shit. You know how elections are ran when an authoritarian leader is in power? Look over there in where Kim Jong-un is. Look where Putin is. Was it 46-2? But see, Donald Trump is not trying to, to his other political opponent. He wants to jail them. That's still fascism. That's still authoritarianism. And that's how it works. It's important y'all know what you're up against and what you're fighting. So I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, well, I don't know what this is. It's fascism, baby. That's what it is. Also, tomorrow, my colleague Bubs the God will be going live, so make sure y'all tune into that. Let's see what time we got. Oh, 30 minutes. We almost at the end of the track, y'all. I see a difference. My back has been kind of giving me problems, my lower back. But we're still looking for a place. We thought we had somewhere, but again, red tape. And under this regime, you're going to have a hard time finding anything. So, no, it's a waiting period. I don't think I'll be back before the fall because that was my goal. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm trying to come back because my voice is needed. And I feel like, and I woke up this morning and go to my Instagram. It was a bunch of copyrights strikes on my videos, past interviews and stuff that I added music to. And I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? So I had to wind up deleting all of that. I already got a restriction on my account. They said that it might go against some of the guidelines because of what I said about Megyn Kelly. And I still stand 10 toes down on it. I don't apologize. If I have to make a new one, I'll make a new one. But y'all make sure y'all follow that. I had a show scheduled yesterday. All of this week I had shows lined up all the way up into the beginning of the new year. And now it's put on hold. Everything is put on hold. And that's because this unfortunate tragedy happened, this fire. We're still going back and forth to the house to recoup things. Yeah, it's a lot. But let's talk about YG's song, Tiffany. Do I believe that he was telling a story? Yes, artists are supposed to tell stories. Do I believe that this is somewhat a dog whistle to people who are already transphobic? I mean, you just had Lil Boosie go on a whole rant about not wanting to have trans people at a pool party. And you have people in the comments saying, oh, well, that's his preference. That's his party. But guess what, baby? Your preferences are often rooted in bigotry. I want you to learn that. Yeah. Your preferences are often rooted in bigotry. You could say somebody likes steak. You could say somebody likes fried chicken. You know what you're saying? Do y'all get what I'm saying here? It's okay to like what you like, but when there's dangerous intentions behind the message that you're trying to put out there, that's where it becomes a problem. Because this year alone, trans people, our rights are under attack. We are seeing our rights being stripped away from us. We are seeing people be criminally prosecuted for just breathing and existing in their truth. And that should not be. Had something in my throat. But yes. And as far as anything else, I'm checking people's political affiliation at the door. Literally. Like, and I said this once and I'll say it again. If you're a conservative or a Republican and I find out, I'm blocking the shit out of you. Something in my throat. And that's just that. If your political views don't align with mine and you're not for equality for all, we got a problem. If I go back and watch anybody's videos and I see them saying I'm not for abortion or whatever, I'm going to slowly distance myself away from you. Because, see, I believe that a woman should have the right to her own body and nobody should weaponize their Christianity the same way that these fucking white supremacists are weaponizing their Christianity. Do you want me to go down the list of the names of who they are? Stephen Miller. Donald Trump is not really the president. Yeah, he's the president. He's the shot, he's the front center stage person. But the real presidents are Stephen Miller. The real presidents that are behind him are Russ Voigt and Kevin Roberts, the Heritage Foundation. That's how Donald Trump is pushing this corrupt regime all the way to the edge because of their orders. Didn't he deny that he didn't know anything about the Heritage Foundation? But then turns out that his ass is connected to them. So you can't trust anything that this man is saying. You can't trust anything that this regime is saying. But Mark Elias and Fearless R. Davis, make sure y'all follow them. Mark Elias is Democracy Docket. But they're already giving you the hints that Donald Trump has rigged the 2026 midterm. They're preparing. No, he's rigged it. Because why are you so interested in trying to get people's access to voting data? Why are you trying to get that information? What do you need that information for? So that you're going to withhold funding? Well, he's been attacking blue states, New York, California. And let's not forget that he weaponized the DOJ to go after and investigate Gavin Newsom and his wife. And I've been critical of Gavin Newsom. I'm not voting for this man. This man is preparing to run for president. Listen, until you address that there's an issue where transphobia and racism exists, this is my problem with Bernie Sanders and Gavin Newsom. Because he got on a podcast and he said, racism, ooh, that's a touchy subject. No, it's not. It's alive and it's living. But see, what y'all thought y'all was getting with James Tallarico was Jon Ossoff. Jon Ossoff knows the plight of Black people. James Tallarico has yet to come out and make a statement about the racism and the misogyny and sexism against Jasmine Crockett. Y'all thought y'all was going to get a Jon Ossoff? No. And congratulations, Georgia. Y'all understood the assignment. The only pushback I have is y'all got a majority goddamn Supreme Court that's conservative. They're still elected Trump loyalists in these positions, and he's going to instill more loyalists there to give himself an advantage in the 2026 midterms. Why do you think he's doing what he's doing? And you want to jail people for 10 years for the deflecting pool? Then you sat up here and you told a fucking lie that somebody took a box cutter to the deflecting pool. The deflecting pool is a deflection from Epstein files, okay? We ain't heard no more about it because the DOJ, Todd Blanche, them are actively, openly protecting him from accountability. But trust, when the Nuremberg trials comes, y'all will have y'all's day. But YG, we know exactly what you were doing. You could have wrote a song about green eggs and ham. Stop making trans people public enemy number one and the topic of y'all's conversations. We are tired. What was I just doing? Looking over my shoulder for my safety, making sure that there's no dogs or nothing. That's what trans people, we have to do over every single day of our lives. Is look over our goddamn shoulders and be vigilant. We are tired of the attacks. And if you think that you're going to go and try to cut people's benefits away from them, you're going to have a goddamn problem on your hand. Play with it if you want to. And that's not for me, that's for all of us, the people. Surveillance. We're now in a surveillance state. And Peter Thiel has dipped. Elon Musk, when I was watching TV yesterday, because I was watching Cops, I was watching episodes of Cops and stuff like that. Guess what pops up on the TV, y'all? A Starlink commercial. What is Starlink? Starlink popped up during the Super Bowl. This is around the time the election was going on. Who's connected to Starlink? Do the math. Elon Musk. That's who's connected to it. I don't know where my other live from yesterday is, but yes, he's connected to it. And this is what helped Donald Trump get elected. Billionaires and millionaires, by the way, your data and your information, your personal info, all of that is in jeopardy too. Donald Trump just signed something, an executive order, and I can guarantee you, you know what Congress and Senate will do, because Republicans, they are weak. Because there is no bridge too far for them. They will never see how far they can go. They don't care. But that's all what's been going on. We are right now in a rogue state. Shout outs to Deshaun, he said it best. And to the individual that put that disinformation out there, that put that live up there about Jasmine Crockett, yeah, I unsubscribed. I don't follow them no more. It's one thing when you're telling a lie, but when you're not pushing back on the other party and not holding that other person accountable too, and they're taking money from a whole goddamn Zionist, oh, we got a problem with that. Everything I'm going to give you is factual and true. Do your homework, connect the dots, they're right there. And if you guys care to donate to help me rebuild so that we can get this show back up and running for a new home, a place where I'll be able to do my show in a room and I'll be comfortable, you can donate to $, capital B-O, capital B, lowercase o, SS, QU33N. We are just about back at the house from this walk. But yes, that's what's been going on. So now that you all know what's been going on, you can take this information, and if you're in South Carolina, get up and go to those polls today. Primary runoffs are today, the 23rd. So y'all make sure that y'all are registered. Check your voter registration, because see, Trump's new election rules would purge you off of the thing. They don't want predominantly black and brown districts to vote, because they know we vote Democrat. And if a Democrat gets in power, we know what's going to happen. It better be somebody who's going to hold them accountable. We're not going to move past it. We're not going to glaze over it. That's the only critique about Biden. I would have been looking into it. Every single thing. Give me everything. If you want your democracy, you got to get up and fight. And we don't need to have no goddamn conservative values, because your conservative values is what's got us right here fucked up where we're at currently right now. So that means let women have their own bodily autonomy. That means queer people have their own bodily autonomy. And if you don't believe in it, oh well. But guess what? Let women do what they want to do with their body, and not you be a woman who's out here telling other women that no, you don't need to do this, because it's no. It's none of your business, first of all, what another woman does with her body. Focus on your own. Because the same way you're trying to oppress another woman, and you're oppressed yourself too because you're a woman, you can't do that. especially black women. Are you serious? Are y'all fucking blind? Have you read the room? Like, come on now. You cannot be oppressed and oppress other people. It does not work that way. You putting the National Guard and the Army in front of the goddamn deflecting pool to protect it because you don't want people to see how fucked up it is. And it's got algae there. And you wasting taxpayers' dollars. That's what you're doing. But yeah, I'm about to get off of here. That's my rant for the day. That's this morning's walk. I'm headed back to the house, and then I'm gonna go out at 12 o'clock. So I'll see y'all again.